Often, streamers talk about their most successful months. They show off when they're doing really well, but never really go into when the revenue streams aren't as high as usual. I want to show you why my least successful revenue month on Twitch was potentially one of my most successful business months as a whole. Let's get into that. What's going on, everyone? Welcome into the Streamer Hub. My name is Andy, and today we're going to be talking about success as a business when it comes to content creation. Before we actually get into that, I do stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays if anyone does want to come and stop by and hang out with the family. I'm also pretty active on Twitter too, where you can find that. If you are wanting to become a better content creator, I've made a full website dedicated to doing just that, where it can take you through a step-by-step journey to becoming a better content creator. I'll leave all the links down below and more if you do want to go and check them out. Before we actually get started as well, I've got the Tario merch on. Oh, it's looking good, and we've also got the Twitch cushion in the background. We're improving our setup. We've talked about this before, and we've already went into this about why streaming alone is very unreliable. We have to solely rely on the generosity of incredible people who want to financially support us when we are streaming. This is why I have now started to focus on my business out with of Twitch, and I'm going to show you exactly the reason for that. In last week's video, which you can check out in the cards after this one, we talked about one of my best revenue months on Twitch since I'd first started within that year of streaming. It went into what I made and where I made it that month, and how that compared to when I'd first started. But that is not every month. For some people it might be, but for most it tends to fluctuate a lot. This is because some months people want to support you more than others, and that is completely fine. It happens to every streamer, and it is never dead set that you're going to make any money on this platform. So let's look at my income for November of last year. Now, as we can see here, I earned a total of $435.21 within the month of November. Now, compared to my August month where I earned nearly $3,000, it is a big step down. Now, there could be many reasons for this, and it doesn't really matter at the end of the day what they are, and you can even see from my analytics that everything is going down that month. This was actually then the month I decided to stop focusing so much within Twitch and start trying to grow my business out with. That means less time spent on the platform and less time for me to dedicate to the site as a whole. But this does not mean I had a bad month, and it didn't affect me in any way because I was already working hard on my business as a whole. This is the life of a Twitch streamer. If you are solely dedicating all of your time to Twitch, you have to be prepared that some months are really not going to be good revenue streams. But here is why November was one of my most successful business months as a whole. November was the month I started to focus more on developing my YouTube content, and that was when I wanted to upload once a week, and I'm continuing to do so as of right now. I watched hundreds of hours of content on how to become a better YouTube content creator for when I started and developing my editing skills. This has then allowed me to improve every single video, and even looking back from my first video, you can see there's a massive difference already. Now, with everything that's going on, I'm planning to make 3 to 4 YouTube videos a week by the end of the year consistently. And that is with hiring an editor, working with new creators, and making the best unique content that I possibly can. And this month as well, I started to plan the podcast that I was going to release, and the first episode is actually out right now, which you can go and check out, and I'll leave the links in the description. The Power of Positivity podcast is dedicated to try and help people learn a little bit more about myself, mental health, positivity, content creation, and everything to do with that. We're going to be getting some guests on as well, so if that is something you're interested in, be sure to go and check it out. I realised that I had a lot to say, and a podcast was probably the best way in doing so. I could then express how I feel on a variety of topics, get guests on who deserve the exposure for making this world a more positive place, and really expanding my audience to a variety of platforms. Again, the less focused I was on Twitch, the more positive I seemed to be. This does not mean if you are streaming 7 days a week, then you cannot be happy. But for me and in my work ethic, I was a lot happier working on my business out with of Twitch. This month was also the first month I started working towards becoming Hype Unit's lead streamer. And I am very happy to say that I succeeded in my goal in doing so. I am now the lead streamer of Hype, and we are working so hard to make 2020 the best year that it possibly can be, being more organized, professional, and bringing out the best content that we possibly can. And I'm so happy to be a part of that. My hard work out with of streaming was what helped me do that and helped push me to become a better content creator as a whole and not just a streamer. I could probably talk for quite a while on all the successful things that happened within the month of November. I mean, the mailing list was increasing, the website was getting more traction, I was releasing new pages, I was giving exclusive benefits to Patreon, new segments were coming out for the stream, all whilst I was focusing on developing myself better as a content creator. You might be thinking then, what's the point in all this? What was the point in me telling you all the successful things that happened? And this is because many see monetary value as the definition of success. Now, although I understand that, I do believe there is a lot of other factors that really go into the definition of what success means to you. I made huge steps in that month alone for my brand, for my content, for my business, and everything was moving at a really fast rate. This to me was successful, and I want you to learn from that as well. Monetary value or your average viewer count does not define your success. You define what your success is, nobody else. If you want to work on a project, something new, and you make a step-by-step guide and follow every single step, crushing those goals for that month, you've been successful. Defining your success over your average viewership or your revenue is what a lot of people tend to do. To me, you just have to take a step back once in a while and really see the distance that you have come in such a short period of time. Stop looking back on a previous month and being upset that your revenue wasn't as high that month, because this all takes time, especially if you're wanting to make streaming your full-time career. I would actually recommend not trying to push so much for that, but push for other avenues to make your income. Affiliate marketing, YouTube content, sponsors on social media, working on things that you are then able to control with the content that you're putting out. You can't make someone turn up to your stream and gift you 50 subs, but you can push yourself to make better content that people are going to want to watch, and therefore increase your presence all across social media and streaming platforms. Twitch revenue is never going to be stable. End of. I went 3 to 4 months where I was earning a lot more money than I usually do, and then it took a dip. I had continued to work on my content, continued to try and bring out better content, but seen a dip in everything. And that's gonna happen. No business always rises forever. There's always going to be peaks and valleys in your success as a business as a whole. But you've got to remember that if you keep pushing, if you keep wanting to make better content, that success will show itself again. I know that these last few months might have not been my best. I understand that. What I also know is that I am now scheduling 30-minute segments each day for a week. I'm pushing for better content every single day, and I'm already seeing growth with every platform that I'm doing. I have now over 70 people subscribed to the mailing list that I produce. More and more active people are becoming a part of the website. I'm seeing new faces all the time in stream, on social media. I'm seeing more activity. I'm working to make Hype the best team that it possibly can be. And I'm also seeing the success and the personal growth within myself. I get it. Revenue and average viewership can sometimes be what we let ourselves down on, because we believe if we're not making the money that we used to, then we are not being successful. We can make everything an achievement if we want. Even getting up in the morning, we can make that a successful day. If you spent the last 3 days in bed because you are just not ready for the world, yet today you decided to get up, you've been successful. If you today have pushed yourself outside of your comfort zone and took a selfie for the first time, you've been successful. Define your success on what you want to achieve And if it's something you can't control, then work to make your content the best that it possibly can be. And eventually, you will see the success that you have always been looking for. Streamers especially tend to give up really early on. And the reason for that is because they believe they deserve the success that they really don't. You need to understand this is going to be a long game. Some see success earlier than others. Some see the monetary value earlier than others. That doesn't mean you are worse or better than anyone else. Focus on your content. Focus on your business as a whole and developing yourself to be the best you that you can be. That is what is going to make you successful. Have a fantastic day. Oh no, do you like to cook? Eric! Holy shit, thank you so much. Wow, thank you so much.